Thank you so much for being here. This is a glimmer beneath the surface, and I've just been peeing glitter over it all day, putting the final touches of it together. Please put any questions, any comments, anything in the chat, and I will get to it as we go through. I'll pick them up along the way. Yeah. Ooh, I think that's it really. I am going to try and keep this to about 45 minutes, but anyone who's worked with me might just piss themselves laughing because they know I can talk the legs off a chair. There we are. Okay, let's make this big because we all love a big one. Right. I'm going to make this small. Welcome to A Glimmer Beneath the Surface. I'm honestly honoured that you're here. And I believe that you're here right now because there's a deep inner knowing inside of you, but that for like the past decades of your life, you've been told to behave a certain way or think a certain way or accept certain things and dress a certain way or marry a certain way or get a job or do the degree, all the things that we're told that we should do along the way. Like don't be too loud, don't show up too much. And now you're at a point in your life where it feels like you're in a dark room and you can't find the light switch. And you're looking around and you're looking to feel alive again and you're looking to feel active and energized and all of those things, but it feels like there's just darkness all around you and that you're lost. But you know there's a vision for you because you can feel it inside. And it could be leaving that job, it could be leaving that relationship, building your business, booking the retreat. It could be, you know, whatever it is, taking those trips, spending more family time, just growing as a person. Could be having that spacious life where you've got your own time, being with the man or woman that you love, having amazing sex, whatever it is that you're lacking in your life right now, you know it's there, like deep within you. And you're here because you felt a calling and you felt a calling pulling you towards this workshop. I'm just going to ask if everyone could mute for me, please. Just that's amazing. And that calling, like that voice within your soul that didn't have any words, that knowing without knowing, that was Lilith. And Lilith is the guide for you when you're in the darkness, because Lilith was cast out of the garden for being wild, for being free, for having a voice. And she was called a sinner and a demon, and she was put in the cave. And she was the woman who had a voice, and she was a woman who had desires, and she wanted to embrace all parts of her and her desires and like that wild side of her that she was told she couldn't. And I feel like you might identify with parts of that. And before we were told who we have to be and how we have to act and who we have to become. And like when Lilith was in that cave, she found herself in that darkness, just like I'm going to try and help you to find yourself in that shadow today. And she felt liberated from the chains of oppression that society had put on us and that put on her. And for me, Lilith is a guide for the woman who's ready to be free, who's ready to own her own desires, to have the money, to create the impact, to have the confidence, to have the relationships, to have that like wild, free energy where she's authentic as fuck, that allows her to play in her life and in her business and experience like the pleasure and the joy and all of the possibilities that we see everybody else having and we know that are out there for us. And that's available to you right now. And it's available to you when you meet Lilith. And a glimpse beneath the surface is where we're going to get started with that. And when we go deeper into this work, into beneath the surface, we're going to unlock those parts of you that were from the past trauma in your childhood. Could be the society, the job, the husband, your kids, all the parts of us that the world or whatever is in our world has made us suppress, that have led us to feeling like you're only a part of who you could be. And like you're searching for that light again, to feel alive, to feel pleasure again, and to feel confidence and joy. And we're gonna clear out some of those subconscious stories today and limitations so that you can get to that place. So I just would love for you, I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute because I think there's somebody off mute. It's okay. I would love for you to just visualize now, even just close your eyes if you want to. 6 months from now. So 6 months from now, if you weren't holding on to that fear, to that good girl bollocks, to the people pleasing, to putting everyone else in front of you, to not making the decisions that you really want to do because you're scared, like those things that you've been thinking about forever, starting your own business, having your own piece of land, buying the retreat center, like whatever it is that you want to do, getting that new job, sharing your gifts with the world, all those things that are calling you, I just want you to visualize them. And if you woke up 6 months from now and you weren't in that space with all of those things that you desire, how would you feel? And if you woke up 6 months from now and that was yours, if that was your reality, like, and you had all those things, like, how would you feel then? Like, I've got a visualization of me in 6 months. I've just joined a gym and I've got a flat belly and I've got my belly button out in a top. That's my vision for 6 months. But that feeling of having exactly what you want, of what you desire, this is where Lilith is going to take you. And Lilith is a goddess that I've been working with. I used to think goddesses were a big load of shite, by the way. And then all of a sudden I had this weird experience that was magical, and I started hearing her name and she started showing up for me. And then I looked into what she represented, and exactly that, like Lauren's put, empowered. She was the part of me that I was hiding, the parts that I felt like I couldn't embrace because what would people think of me? And sometimes it's the parts that we really want to lean into as we evolve as women, as we change and grow throughout our lives. So I just wanted to introduce Lilith because she's been a massive part of why this is even created and why she's even here. And the whole point of Beneath the Surface is to help you reclaim the parts of you that have been, that you've shied away from. So I'm just gonna go back. Okay. So again, thank you for being here. The session's going to last about 45 to 60 minutes. You'll need a pen and a piece of paper, a drink of water, and ideally somewhere you can be undisturbed, because I'm going to take you into quite a deep visualization. And if you get pulled out of it, you might be really pissed off. So if you've got a scratchy cat or a needy dog, or your dinner's on the cooker, go and turn it off. And if you can create some time for you to just process afterwards as well, that would be really beautiful for you. Okay. So I've already gone into the reason why I feel like you're here. Okay. What's a shadow, and do we all have them? So shadows are the parts of ourselves that we hide from the world, that we reject because we think people won't like or love us for having them, or deny from ourselves. So it's all the part where, like, you've gone to say something or you've not been able to behave a certain way because you feel like you won't be accepted, or you've stopped yourself from doing something where you've got that urge. And it could be for anything, but you've had to stop yourself because they're the part of you that you think people shouldn't see. And we've all got them. And they come from when we're teeny tiny little humans. We're learning how to be loved and accepted when we're little. So from being really, really tiny, if you think of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, our primary need is safety, which involves like love. And when we're little, we actually believe that we'll die if we're not loved and accepted, because that's our primary need. So we learn really, really quickly how not to behave if we don't want love to be withdrawn from us. So think about all the times when we're punished when we're little and we're told to sit on the naughty step, or we've got to be seen and not heard, or we have to go out and behave like an adult because we're sitting with the adults and we're not allowed to play. And it's all of those parts of us, or the certain behaviors, like you might have been told, oh, you're so noisy, or you're so loud, And it can come from different, it doesn't need to just come from your parents. It can come from, like, I was bullied my whole way through primary school, and my nan was a narcissist. So between the two of them, I was bullied at home and bullied at school. And it's not a sob story, because everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? But because of what happens to us and because of what we believe, how we're supposed to behave, should, and the behaviors that we need to hide, we mold ourselves into these little perfect, like, clay models of what we feel like we need to be so that we're loved and accepted. And from a very, very early age, we learn how to hide our authentic selves, which is really sad. Because when you think about, all the babies that you watch on the reels, and they're like bobbing away, and they don't give a shit, and they've got all this freedom, and they're having the best time. And then they suddenly become aware of the world, and they're like, oh, I can't do that. They're looking at me, or I can't do that. And we shy away, or we're told people will look at you if you do that. And it's like, or don't be so full of yourself. Like, why wouldn't you want to be full of who you are? But anyway, so this blew my head off, right? And I think this is like a not Freud, a Carl Jung quote, but it says, as humans, our fear of rejection and abandonment is greater than our need for authenticity. So being who we are isn't as important as us being like our fear of rejection and abandonment. So we'd rather fake and pretend to be somebody that we're not, to be accepted by other people. Which I know there's a few blokes in the background, but when you get to like perimenopause age, you start thinking, fuck it. I don't know if anyone can put a little heart in the comments if they get that. We get to like our late 40s and we're like, actually, fucking fuck it, what people think. And our shadows show up in different ways. So I don't know which of these you most identify with in your life, but a lot of these things are parts of us that we try and hide, but we can't. So our subconscious mind is 95%, runs 95% of what we do, right? So if we've lobbed all of our shadows and all the shit we don't want to deal with or for people to see into that subconscious, into the shadows, because we just want to forget about it. But actually, that's the part that's running the show. So even though we're not consciously aware of what we're doing, all of that is still humming along in the background. And I don't know if you know, but between the ages of 0 and 7 is when our subconscious mind is formed in its little bubble. So all of our beliefs, all of the things that so this is why kids ask a million questions, because our brains are just literally absorbing everything. So depending on who was in your world when you were a little human, depends on what you were told and what you believed. So if you had a bit of a bumpy childhood, like one of my beliefs is that people who own a Porsche have got a little willy. Like that's what I was told as a kid. Like rich people are greedy, we'll never have, we can't afford, but also you're too noisy, don't be too loud, people won't like you if you do that. So we shove it all in and it bubbles out. And sometimes we'll react in a certain way and we'll be like, shit, I didn't mean to say that. And that's because there's that unhealed part of us, that inner child, that little version of us where something happened. And it doesn't necessarily need to be between the ages of 0 and 7. It can be after. That trauma can happen through any part of our lives. But the things that go unhealed will just bubble out every now and again, and they do that because they come up to be healed. And a lot of the stuff that we repress beneath the surface is stuff that we haven't known how to deal with. We haven't wanted to feel it because it feels like shit, so we've just pushed it all down. But what happens is it creates like an echo. So it's still in there. And if something else happens similar to that situation, it'll trigger that memory. And then our memory goes, oh, I remember that. That's happened before. Here, have this feeling. And you're like, like that was really fucking horrible. You're anxious. You become reactive, and things like power struggles, you know, from being repressed as a child or told you had to be quiet and silent. Do you now argue with people even though you know you're in the wrong just to prove a point, just because you can, you know? And like the unheard child talks over people, but in conversations. And if you think about all the things that you haven't said or haven't been able to say, and again, this comes out of just being a child, this goes into your adult life as well. The times when someone said something to us that's been unpleasant and we've not been able to retaliate, because what's the point? So we lay in bed at night, we fester on all these things, they come up, we feel resentment, we feel bitterness. And again, I don't know if you know this, but what your mind thinks, your body reacts to. So if you're one of these people that like thinks about bad shit that's happened when you're laying in bed at night, going over things, having arguments with people, or thinking about shit that was bad, and your body is reacting to that, your nervous system is pumping out all sorts of adrenaline and cortisol. So if you're stuck in that loop of just trapped inside with that resentment and that bitterness or the guilt or the shame, these really low frequency emotions that are heavy, overproduction of cortisol stops the production of your cells. So emotions, suppressed emotions, if you think of an emotion as an energy in motion, suppressed emotions cause a dis-ease within your body, a disease. So if we don't look at the shit that's bubbling beneath the surface that we want to come out, that we don't want to come out at the same time, it's just going to keep coming up to the surface, and we're just going to keep pushing it back down, and we're going to be trapped in these shitty loops of not doing the things that we want to do, not being able to speak freely, not living the lives that we want to live, you know, not knowing why we can't just fucking do the thing because we're like physically stuck, and that's a trauma response from something that you know you're probably not aware of. And this is the whole point of the Beneath the Surface, where every month we do a one-to-one hypnotherapy session so that I can hold you safe and go deep and find out all these echoes and anything that needs shifting in a safe way. Lost me button. I've spent the last decade working on my shadows. I don't even know where to start with this. I can remember one of the main times that it really came up for me was when I was writing my first book. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me that actually there's probably going to be some people that might read it because it was a book, and that then they'd know about who I was, and what if people started talking. And I've had a very colourful past. I've made some not very clever choices. And what that led me to doing was to loving those parts of me who made shit decisions, who didn't put her kids first, who didn't put herself first, who let people take her, and all of those things, because at that time I didn't know better. I was doing the best I could with what I had, and I was trying to cope with all the shit that I didn't even know was bubbling beneath my surface. So going back, looking at those parts of myself, support in a supported way, revisiting them and loving them. And now nobody can ever shame me, because I love every single part of who I am, because I wouldn't be who I am today because of that. But I also know there was a reason why, and it's brought up a lot of other things as well, but it set me free. You know, when you think, oh, what if people find out, or oh, I did that, or I'm such a bad person? Like, no, no, you did what you needed to do at that time because of what was going on in those circumstances. And, you know, we've got to forgive those parts of ourselves as well to set her free, because it's the only way. And I know sometimes we don't feel like forgiving people, and we're gonna cover a lot of this inside Beneath the Surface as well with the chakra work that we do, because we hold a lot of energy in our heart chakra around bitterness and grief and, you know, resentment and all of that. And all that does is ripple out into our energy, into our lives. We just become twatty people because we're pissed off. But if we're not willing to do the work and look at the reasons why and forgive, and forgiveness is beautiful because it lets you go. It sets you free from what the If you think about something that happened to you and you get that feeling, would you forgive that person? Even when you think about it, you don't have that feeling anymore because it's gone. You're like, they've got no power over you anymore, and you've completely took your power back. And it doesn't mean what they've done is okay. It just means that they no longer control any part of your life. So that was one of the like the main sort of shadows. But then again, in the last sort of 12 months, when this goddess energy has appeared and all these other triggers and ways of me working more deeply with myself, like discovering hypnotherapy, but Lilith especially, that goddess archetype energy, which is she was the original rebel. She wouldn't be repressed by Adam, and she did leave the Garden of Eden and she went into the cave because she'd rather be in the fucking dark. And it was in that darkness that she found all those parts of herself. She leant into those sensations and she looked beneath her surface, and she was just herself, the sexy rebel. That's who she embodies, and every part of you is okay. It's okay to want and to have these desires, but we're told it's not, and we shy away from those parts of ourselves. And it's been a really amazing journey, which is what I'm going to share more of. I want to talk a little bit about my clients' success as well. And I've worked with many, many amazing women over the past few years. One of them sticks out particularly, who I absolutely adore. And she saw me accidentally, and she came to me and was like, I just feel drawn to working with you. And we did a lot of shadow work. We did my own modality called the freedom sequence, where we go in and we remove emotional blocks and limiting beliefs. And if you've signed up for him beneath the surface, we're going to be doing all of that inside of there. But we spent a lot of time looking at the shadows, looking at inner child, looking at the reasons why she was behaving in certain ways, because of these ripple effects that were still echoing from childhood. And she went on to, I mean, if you're reading that, I don't want to read it out to you, but she left a job that she was unhappy in. She's got a beautiful relationship where she loves herself and her partner adores her. She went on to share her story, which she never thought she would share, in a chapter in my book last year. And she's going on to write her own book, and she's just fucking phenomenal. And she's done the work. I've held the space, but she's done the work. And it was just, honestly, I can't even, I've got no words for it, but I'm just so fucking grateful to have these experiences and the power of this work. So I've put this in black and red because it is a bit of a scary one, but it says, your shadow will control your life until you integrate it. You can't heal what you don't see or feel. That wasn't supposed to rhyme, by the way. So your shadow will make you and others feel proper miso. That means miserable, by the way. Keep creating annoying as fuck challenges for you, and eventually make you physically sick, because part of you will eventually want to be healed, and it will stop you from being the real you, because you're hiding those parts of yourself, and you'll be scared. You won't want to make the decisions. You won't be saying yes to investing in yourself. You'll be putting everybody else before you, because there's part of you that are just fucking scared, but you're screaming inside because you know it's the right decision for you. And this is why this work is so fucking important, and so life-changing. So, two questions. How many times have you hidden who you really are? When you've showed up somewhere, it could be at a network meeting, it could be at an event, and you've just like hidden a little part of you away because you want to be more accepted. Like, you might not have dropped an F-bomb or got your squirrel costume out. Oh, fuck it. No, that's me. I always do that. um, and how many times have you done things not because you wanted to, because you felt like you should be a good girl or not be silly and cause a fuss, and then feel frustrated as fuck? Just going to go into the comments and just see if I can. Oh, I need to stop sharing to see the comments, don't I? Silly me. Right. Okay. Oh my God, there's still people here. That's amazing. No one's dropped off. Right, let's see. Okay. Your work's empowered. What about a feral kid? Yeah. I was a feral kid. Yeah. I might fuck around and find out era. Yes, I fucking love that. Fuck it. It appears I have lots of shadows. Yes, that's fine. I've got you. Don't worry. You're in the right place. Natalia, I love you. This is one of the reasons I've joined all the time. Me too. Yes, can't wait to go on the retreats with you. Oh my God, I'm so excited all the time. Yeah. Okay. Right, let's just go back. Okay. Let's fucking do this. So, I would like you to find somewhere comfortable and get your pen and paper ready. I'm going to come off. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute while we do this so I can see the screen. Okay. What I'm about to do with you can be a little bit triggery. So we just want to put a disclaimer out there, and I just want to say, I am here if anyone needs anything after this session. I've absolutely got you. Okay. I'm not suggesting anything bad's going to happen, but I'm just going to say sometimes it can be a bit emotional. I've absolutely got you safe. I'm going to take you on an inner child journey to find a shadow. And then I'm going to take you on a bit of a quantum leap. I'm going to take you into the future to get a message from your future self. Oh, to see what you need. And she's got messages for you to tell you to stop fucking around and do the things that you want to do and say yes. Stop playing small. So, yeah, if you want to turn your cameras off for this bit, you can do. I'm just going to find my glasses. Oh, I can't see with them on. Okay. So when you're ready, getting comfortable. For those of you not so familiar with meditation, it's so important that you stay comfortable throughout the whole experience. So if you need to fidget move, you don't need to stay still or whatever, just let it be what it is, okay? And if you want to turn your camera off, you absolutely can turn your camera off. Okay. So I just want you to get comfy. And if it feels safe, I just want you to close down your eyes. And just take a slow, deep breath in through the nose. And then just breathing out slowly through the mouth. And then just breathing in slow again when you're ready. Just feeling your belly expand and just holding it for a sec. And then just breathing out as you soften into your body. Dropping your shoulders down away from your ears. Softening into your hips. And then take another slow, deep breath in. And just bring your awareness to the crown of your head. Just relaxing your brow and your temples, softening through your cheeks and your jaw. Maybe allowing your tongue to drop away from the roof of your mouth, just softening through the whole of your face. Relaxing all the little muscles behind your ears as you drop your shoulders down again. And then take another slow, deep breath in and just hold it at the top. And as you breathe out, relax all the muscles in the back of your neck. Dropping your shoulders down again. Relaxing the tops of your arms and your elbows and your forearms and your wrists. Softening through the palms of your hands and all the way down to the ends of your fingers. And then take another slow, deep breath in and just hold it at the top. Feel your chest rise, feel that gentle squeeze. And as you breathe out, soften into your belly. Soften into your hips. Relaxing all the muscles in your lower back. Relaxing the tops of your thighs. The front and back of your knees. Your calves. Your ankles. Your heels. The soles of each foot and all the way down to the ends of each toe. Take another slow, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just allow all the muscles in your body to soften and relax. Just breathe in as you relax. And relaxing as you breathe. And now I want you to visualize yourself on a beautiful white sandy beach. And I just want you to feel the sun on your skin as you walk along the dry, warm sand. And you look over to the sea and you notice the blues and the greens and the turquoises of the waves as the sea rolls in towards you and back out. And it rolls in towards you and back out. And it rolls in towards you and back out. You turn your head to the right now and you notice the beautiful green colour of the palm trees just swaying in the breeze and the gentle shush noise that they make as they move left to right, left to right, left to right. You find somewhere comfy to sit down in the sand. You can sit a little bit away from the water if you want, or you can sit with your toes in the water. And you just gently bring out your left hand and you just swish your hand in that soft, warm, dry sand, just left to right, left to right, left to right. And this is your own private beach. This is your safe space. And I just want you to take a moment to just gently look up towards the sun, just noticing how blue the sky is. Just feeling that gentle, cool breeze on your face. As you just embody that feeling of safety and warmth. Just breathing as you relax. And relaxing as you breathe. Now I want you to imagine that you're standing in a beautiful corridor of soft, warm light. I just want you to take a moment to notice and to feel into all the details that are in this corridor. And this corridor is made of your memories and it's completely safe here. Each step you take along the corridor brings you closer to a moment from your childhood that your subconscious is ready to visit today. Nothing will come up that you're not ready for. You are safe, you are guided, and you are held. And as you walk, you notice doors on either side of the corridor, and each one is glowing slightly, pulsing gently. And you suddenly become drawn to one of the doors in particular. Trust your body, trust your knowing, and walk towards that door now. Place your hand on the handle, just noticing what that looks like. Take a slow, deep breath in. And when you're ready, gently open the door. And you step inside and find yourself in a familiar space from your childhood. Maybe it's a bedroom or a schoolyard or a family kitchen or front room or somewhere else, anywhere it can be. Just trust that whatever shows up is for you. And just take a moment to look around and notice the colours and the smells and the feelings. And now you see her. You see little you. And she's here, that younger version of you that still lives inside your heart. And I just want you to notice how old she is and what she's wearing and what expression is on her face. And what energy is she holding in her body? I want you to slowly now walk over to her and kneel or sit beside her and just let her feel your presence. And let her know that she's not alone anymore. And maybe you place a hand gently on her shoulder. And maybe you ask her what she's feeling. Or maybe you just sit in silence and feel into what she needs. Let her show you. Let her speak. Let her be witnessed without shame, without fixing anything. And ask her, what do you need from me right now? And let whatever she says, just let whatever comes be okay. Trust it. And now offer the healing. Now offer her what she needs, be words, or something else. And maybe you tell her, you are so loved. You did nothing wrong. You are allowed to play, to rest, to be noisy, to feel. Maybe it's, I've got you now and I'm never leaving. Say whatever little you needs to hear. And just let it land. Let your words melt into her. And when you feel ready, invite her to come with you. To step out of the past and into the present. To stay close to your heart. You might even imagine her shrinking down real teeny tiny into your hand and just placing it into a chest, into a room in your heart, just gently merging. And this room in your heart is the bestest bedroom that she would ever have wanted as a kid, with all of the things that she never had in there. And she's so happy and she's so safe. And she knows that you are always going to be together. Now in your mind, I want you to repeat these phrases. I am safe now. She is safe now. We are safe together. I choose to love and honor all parts of me. Joy is not a reward. It's my birthright. It is safe to be me. Breathe that in. Let it anchor deep within you. Little you is with you now. She doesn't need to be left behind anymore. She's part of your magic, of your softness, of your power. And she is so, so proud of you. I just want you to take a moment now to bring yourself back to the corridor. Gently coming out of the room and closing the door behind you. And just take a moment now to look at the corridor again. The floor, the walls, any decorations. Just notice if anything's changed now since you've come out of that room. And now you see another door that you're drawn to. And on the other side of this door is a parallel universe where there's another you, a future version of you. And this is the you that's confident and successful and believes in her own abilities, and she has her own powerful opinions and values. She values her worth. She's achieved all of the things that you've dreamed of achieving, and she's made a difference. The you who understands at a deep level who she is. She's confident, she's successful, she's carefree, and she realizes that she is capable of powerful contributions to the people around her and to the whole world. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to open that door. And as you open that door, you're going to walk through it and pass into that parallel dimension. Ready? I want you to open the door now. See the door opening and walk through it. And just feel the door gently closing behind you, knowing that you are perfectly safe and you can come back through that door at any time. And I just want you to notice what's around you and find that other version of you, the confident you, the one that says yes to everything, the one that makes her own decisions and knows her own worth. Where is she? And now I want you to walk up to them and just notice what they're doing. And if you want, you can explain why you're there. And I want you to ask them a question, something that you want to know. It could be asking them how they've achieved whatever it is that you want to achieve. And I just want you to really listen to the answers. What is it that you need to know? What is it that they want to tell you? Take a moment now to have a chat with them, to have a conversation about all the things that you need to know to quantum leap into that parallel universe, to have all of these things. This is a version of you that is already doing all of the things that you dream of. Just take a moment. Now I want you to notice if there's anything else that you want to ask or say to future you. And now future you has got a message for you, one final thing that they want to say. And I just want you to notice what that is. So now I want you to thank the future you for holding space for you. And I want you to make your way back to the door. And the door opens easily and you walk through the door and back into the corridor. And just feel the door closing behind you, knowing that you can come back at any time that you want. You just need to visualize that door and go in and have a chat. And I just want you to notice the corridor again and just see if anything's changed in that corridor. And then you take a big, slow, deep breath in and close your eyes. And as you open your eyes in your vision, not in real life, keep your eyes closed, you are back on your beach, sitting in the soft, warm sand, feeling that beautiful sun on your face. Just notice how you feel. And just take a moment to reflect on the experience that you've just had. Just a process. And just remembering that feeling of safety on your own private beach. as you look to the right and you see those beautiful green palm trees swaying left to right, left to right, left to right. And you get up now off the sand and brush the sand off your bum and your legs, and you just begin to walk down the beach, and you just notice that beautiful sea and the blue and the green and the turquoise of the waves as they roll in towards you and back out. And they roll in towards you and back out. And they roll in towards you and back out. And then you look up towards the sky and you see a tiny little wisp of white cloud. And as you look at the white cloud, you notice it begin to gently dissolve and disappear until the whole sky is blue. And as the little fluffy cloud disappears, you gently bring yourself back into this moment, just feeling the temperature of the room that you're in. Beginning to take some slow, deep breaths. Feel the coolness of that breath as it moves through your body, energizing you with each inhale and grounding you back into your physical body with each exhale. Beginning to feel your body, feel the sensation of your clothes. And then taking a big, slow, deep breath in and reaching your arms all the way up above your head, coming into a nice, big, deep stretch on a yawn if you want to. And then opening your eyes. Oh. And if I just want you to take a little minute just to write down anything that came up for you while it's still fresh in your mind. And it could be the messages that little you gave you. It could be the messages that your future self gave you. How did that feel? And if anyone needs anything and wants to share anything, please just let me know. Is everybody okay? Yeah, good. Is everybody awake? Amazing. That was amazing. Amazing. Yay. I'm just glad everyone's okay. Does anybody want to share anything that came up for them? You don't absolutely don't have to, but if you want to, you can. I feel like a croissant. You sat all day. Okay, I'll just give everyone another little minute just to wake up and process. And did anyone get any future self messages that were like, fucking hell? I did this a few months ago, the quantum jump. It was a little bit different, but similar to what we've just done. And my future self showed me this, like, I want to say shadow path and darker side and goddessy stuff, and the black butterfly that's on this branding with the gold. I was shown that, and I was shown that this is my next step. So the whole reason that this has been created is because of the messages that I got in my off my future self, which I just fucking love. That was amazing. Thank you. I have to go and collect the smallest child. You have the power. Oh my God, yes. My future self told me to trust myself and follow my heart, and I don't need a man to succeed. I can do it all myself. Yes, you can. Absolutely, 1,000,000%. I love that. It's so powerful hearing it from yourself, though, isn't it? It's like, wow. And like my future me looked a little bit different as well. And I was like, oh, I like that skirt. Okay, let me see what else I've got for you. Let's go back in. Okay. So if you haven't already, I just want you to take a little minute just to write down what message came up for you, if anything. And you don't, obviously, you don't have to share it at all, but for me, it brought up as well all the things that I've been like, the feeling of my future self and the confidence that she had, the house that she was in and what she was doing, and just how self-assured she was. It really, like, I want to say empowered me. It sounds like it does, the word doesn't sound enough, but I was like, oh my God. And it felt so real, like it was so possible. Um, because for a long time I told myself like, oh, you can't spend that money on yourself, you can't invest, and um put everybody else before myself, and I can't leave the job because what'll happen, and oh, and actually what happened was when I did the thing, sometimes I had to go first. um when I did the things, everything changed, and it's just sometimes stepping into that fear. My future self was nice and calm and self-assured, not scatty and all over the place. Do you know what? Without oversharing anything that's happened to you, everything's already started changing for you, hasn't it? Just that whole calmness of you just being you for you. My future message was about being brave. Yes, I was living in a beautiful farmhouse with all the animals I want. Did you have a pick me goat? Is that what they're called? The little ones? I so what I've told Mikey, when we get our forever home, we don't need a lawn mower. We're just going to get some little pick me goats. Yes, Emily, thank you so much. I was on a big stage. Yes, of course you were, Norris. But no dogs and horses. Did you want dogs and horses? Okay. So you made a decision at the beginning about what you wanted. And I don't know what experience you've had, but the one that I had was the only thing that stopped me from having the things that I wanted was the story that I was telling myself about why I couldn't. So, are you willing to keep lying into that story? And are you willing to go deeper beneath the surface so that that story never runs your life again? Is there something, and I don't know if people would feel safe to share, but is there a loop? Is there a question or something that you keep saying to yourself all the time and you're really fucking pissed off with hearing it? It could be things like, you want to put yourself out there more, and you want to like rebrand or rebirth your business or start a new business, or you want to leave your 9 to 5 and you want to go after this big dream and just fucking stop listening to what everyone else is saying, but you're not doing it. Like, is there a loop that any of yous are trapped in that it's just like, oh my God, I just need to get this block out the way? And it could be things that you've just been putting off because you're making excuses about it's not the right time, or sorry, I was just reading the comments there. So beneath the surface, this is the whole purpose of beneath the surface is to help you set yourself free. Oh, sorry, let's do me nines. Me 3 6 9s. To set yourself free from all of the things that you've been chatting to yourself. And the reason I introduced Lilith at the beginning was because she's such a big part of my journey. And throughout the whole of Beneath the Surface she's the archetype that we're going to be working with, because she's the most unfuckwithable out of all of them, in my opinion. And she's the one that really helps you to be who it is that you want to be. So here's what this looks like. It's 6 months. There's only space for 6 women because it's a high touch, intimate container. And what that means is everybody gets a lot of time and a lot of attention and a lot of support and coaching, in the moment coaching. And the reason there's only 6 is because I want to be able to support people to have the transformation. So it's 6 months of live deep dive coaching and the integration part as well, because sometimes we'll do the work and then it'll be a few days later that something bobs up from beneath the surface that we're like, shit, where's that come from? So it's knowing that you're always going to be in a safe space no matter what comes up. And I've spent the last 10 years doing this work. on myself. So I've more than likely been and experienced most of the things that you will, and can hold you in that safe space. It's bi-weekly calls, 60 to 90 minutes. I always say that because I love waffling and I love spending that time with people. So it'll be every 2 weeks, a 60 or 90-minute call. And then you'll have a one-to-one call with me every month to do bespoke hypnotherapy sessions because everybody is so different. And I know we can do group coaching and group hypno, but it's not the same. I want to create that. And again, say intimacy, it's not in that way, but that really safe space and that connection for people to have that chance to feel safe enough to release, no judgment, no shame, just really letting everything out. There's a group WhatsApp as well for in the moment coaching because I don't know about you. If I've got a question, I don't want to wait till the next call. I need to know it now so that I can move through the shifts and the changes that I'm going through. And this is the best part. Well, part of the best part. There's 2 luxury retreats. The first one is in the first month. It's at the end of May, and it's going to be in Wales, in the UK. Well, in Wales. And the reason I've done one at the beginning is because I know the magic that happens in retreats. I've been running retreats since 2018, and every single time the women come away, they come as friends and they leave as sisters. They've still kept in touch years later. They've found new best friends, but also the safety and the connection that happens. And on the first retreat, we'll be doing the Moonai 13th rites of the womb ceremony, which is a shamanic ceremony that's come over from Peru, and it's all about releasing any sort of emotional blocks that are held in the sacral, in the womb. Because I don't know what anybody knows about the chakras, but we will be working a lot with them and I'll be sharing all about them. But the sacral chakra is connection and belonging, but it's also where we hold any emotional blocks. So I call it the cupboard under the stairs because it's generally where we sweep all the shit that we don't want to deal with. And what can happen is it can manifest as physical lady problems like endometriosis, all sorts of things like that. But the Moonlight Key allows us to shift all of that. It's a beautiful ceremony. And we'll be doing the freedom sequence as well, which is my own modality where we go into each of the chakras and shift all of the shit, all of the emotional blocks, all the limiting beliefs, and you feel like a new woman. But looking at the shadow side of the chakras. So for example, the root chakra is like abandonment, rejection, the heart is bitterness, it's all of those things. And the second one is at the end for I want to say like the deep immersion and the ceremonies that we're going to be doing. And I've got a private villa literally on the beach in the Red Sea in El Gouna in Egypt, and it's fucking stunning. We come out, our pool is there, and then we've got the Red Sea. You can see it from standing by the pool. And it's honestly just so special, especially with the goddess energy. And we're going to be working probably a little bit with Isis as well. But the Lilith, the final Lilith ceremony where you rise from the ashes and all of that, it's just going to be so embodied, really anchoring in who you've become and being fucking proud of all the work that you'll have done over the last 6 months. And we're going to go into the Red Mountains and have an experience with like a ceremony experience with the nomads under the stars. So that's a bit exciting as well. So again, all the way through, there'll be Lilith embodiment, rituals and ceremonies. And then there'll be a back office of all the things that you ask me for as we go along. So it could be, I feel like I need a bit of this, I feel like I need a bit of that, and I'll just create it as we go along for you. Eek. I know, the and Suze are already in. So I just want to share a little bit about why I've put hypnosis through it, because firstly, it's fucking changed my life. The things that I thought were the things that were stopping me or bothering me, it wasn't them. It was other stuff that had literally been, and I keep saying beneath the surface, but it so fucking is. And the power of hypnosis compared to a lot of the other mindset and energy work that I've been doing, and not poo-pooing any of that at all, because it's life-changing, but hypnosis has been scientifically proven to enhance neuroplasticity, which is the permanent transformation in the brain. and it's up to 30 times more effective than using mindset techniques. So this isn't surface level stuff. You're going to come out of this a fucking whole, literally a whole different person, wired differently, feeling differently, showing up differently. You can't not. So the first month, let me get me notes. So awareness and subconscious patterns, because I think it's so important to know what it is. So it's identifying and uncovering all of those hidden beliefs and patterns that are keeping you stuck. So you'll have daily hypnosis scripts that you'll be listening to that are going to help you shift and integrate. There'll be chakra energy scans and all different types of recordings, so you can sort of pick and choose which ones you want, so that you can start trusting yourself, so that you can start leaning into your own energy and noticing what's coming up for you and share it in the group, and we can talk through it. And like, stop second guessing what you're feeling and start really trusting that. Not like, I think I feel like this. No, I fucking feel like this. This is where I'm feeling it. This is what that means. Helping you so that when you finish after the 6 months, you will have a whole tool kit of tools that you can use forever. So when things come up outside of this container, you'll be like, ah, that's this. I can do this. I can do that. And that you're going to have lifetime access to everything in here as well. So if you ever feel like you need to go back to any of it, you absolutely can. We're also going to look at where you've been silencing yourself, doing chakra shadow work, and specifically looking at the throat chakra, so that your voice actually does get a little bit louder than your fear, and that your messaging starts to really feel like you. I think everyone here's got their own business, and meet your Lilith energy, and not just like, this is the goddess Lilith. I'm going to look at your birth chart and I'm going to show you where your Lilith wounds are, or where Lilith is showing up on your birth chart, so that you can work specifically with those areas as we go through the 6 months. So it's not just fluffy goddess Lilith stuff. It's really deep, personal, unique, bespoke to you stuff. And when I looked at mine, it fucking absolutely blew my head off. Month 2 is all about releasing shame and rewiring belief, and this can be a little bit wobbly, but it's sometimes it comes from the fear of being too much, where um you've had to pull yourself back and you felt like you shouldn't have done something. So I'm going to teach you somatic breathing. I'm going to talk to you about energy clearing, and we're going to do a one-to-one inner child hypnosis session that month, to stop you hiding and to get to the root of the things that have been, the areas where you've been watering yourself down or not feeling safe to fully express. Reprogramming all the stuck in the loop limiting beliefs, and bringing in mirror practices. And this made me proper cringe when I first started doing it, but honestly, it was so powerful. The first time I looked in my eyes in the mirror and told myself, you are enough, I cried me leg off. Literally come downstairs with a nose like a smurf, and Mikey was like, what's the matter with you? I was like, I've just done mirror work. And he was like, what the fuck? So these practices are so powerful, and they really help you embody more of you, and help you have more compassion towards yourself. Month 3 does what it says on the tin. No more apologizing for who you are. And it's releasing fear around being seen, and visibly looking at the things on your timeline where you've been, you've been held back, or you've not been able to share your brilliance. Again, activating your voice. We'll be working a lot with the throat chakra, because it's normally such a wounded part of us, and creating space so that you can start being who you are. And again, remember, like, all of that Lilith embodiment all the way through it. Month 4, this is honestly one of the most important things that I've ever fucking learned, and it's the regulation, nervous system regulation. It's so simple, but it changes everything. And especially for anyone who might be a bit neurospicy, grounding ourselves and just learning how to breathe, and little bits of tapping, and like vagus nerve regulation. But more somatic tools like that, but also bringing in your own spiritual toolkit. So looking at crystals, oils, moon rituals, why moon rituals are so important, and how they become like a self-development program. So we release on a full moon, we let go of all the shit, and we call in and we manifest on a new moon. And when you do that every month in line with what the energy is, it's just fucking life changing. And we're going to be working on pleasure and receiving practices. I'll just let your mind go where it wants with those, so that you stop subconsciously rejecting things and you start allowing more into your life, being open to receiving. Like, how many times do people try and do things for you and you go, no, I'm okay, let them. Like, it's all about that, but it's so much more. And I'm talking from things like intimacy to support. Did I say income or intimacy first? I think I've read it the wrong way around, but income and intimacy. Um, and then using an integration audio so that you listen to it every day and you embody that openness and that receiving energy subconsciously. It's all going to start going in. Month 5, owning who the fuck you are and that wealth activation. So quantum expansion experiences, working more with the hypno, like the quantum jumping that we've just done. We'll be doing a lot more of that. Visibility activations, so that you can hold more money, more clients, more love, more pleasure, like whatever it is that you want. And that receiving feels clean and easy as well, and it's very fucking available. We've removed all of the blocks, and exploring what luxury feels like to you and what pleasure is to you in a grounded way, so that your nervous system doesn't be like, fucking hell, what's going on? It's like, no, I can do this, I can do this. And it becomes your new norm. And then month 6, the sacred ceremony. We go to Egypt for a whole week. And honestly, the red mountains under the stars, the view that we've just got from our villa, but also deeply anchoring in that new version of you in a sacred space, surrounded by a sisterhood of women, just creating unforgettable memories because you fucking deserve it. And this is actually the beach that we're going to. It's right by our villa. So your investment for this experience is 6666. It can be paid over 6 months or it can be paid over 12 months. The only thing that's not included is the flights to Egypt. All the food, everything, excursions, all of that is all included. Unless you want like a Turkish massage or something, you'll have to pay for that yourself. But everything is included, and there's only 4 spaces left. So I'm just going to leave that picture on for another 5 seconds because I fucking love it and I can't wait. And I can just, oh. So if anyone wants to have a little scan, that's the QR code for the sales page, which has got all of everything I've just shared and more on. And then if anyone has got any questions or anything that they want to ask me. Oh. Thank you. Just massive, massive thank you for being here and letting me have that experience and sharing something that I absolutely fucking love so much. And I hope it's helped. I hope you've had some shift or message or got some comfort or, felt a little bit more love. But if anybody needs any support over the next few days, please just DM me. I'm absolutely here. Pardon me. Does anyone have any questions? I really cannot wait. I know, I really cannot wait too. I really cannot wait. I'm just going to stop recording.